Alright everyone, so I get a lot of questions about food. People tell me they don't know what to eat, they can't make food that tastes good. Right now I'm 4 weeks out from my first show, and I'm going to show you one of my meals that I actually enjoy quite a bit. So it's my last meal of the day. What it is 3 whole eggs, 1 cup of egg whites, spinach, topped with soy sauce. So what you want to do, you want to take a pan. I usually heat mine up fairly high so I don't spend too much time cooking it. I've got an electric stove, so I put mine on 8 from low to high, with 1 being the lowest and 9 being the highest. So go ahead and put your pan on somewhat high heat. You're going to want to spray the pan with whatever cooking spray you have. I'm not too particular about that, just use whatever you have and that'll work. Once the pan is sprayed, you're going to go ahead and want to take your cup of egg whites and dump it inside the pan first. The reason I like to do this is they kind of give a layer for the eggs to cook on, so you don't have to worry about getting anything in there too quickly, and it kind of gives you some time to do all the rest. So next, you got the cup of egg whites in the pan. You're going to take the whole eggs, always crack them inside the pan directly. I know some people like to split them up outside so they avoid getting shells in there. If it happens, I'll just dig them out, and that's it, no big deal, right? So, 3 whole eggs. Alright, now we got everything in the pan. Now, always wash your hands before you do this, because you can get some bacteria from the eggs you don't want necessarily to put in your bag of spinach if you can eat it fresh later on. So wash your hands real quick. Once that's done, you're going to want to take a handful of spinach. I really don't measure it. In my meal plan it says a cup, but honestly for me, I just usually grab a good handful. So something like this, right? Then what you want to do, I don't bother cutting it up all fancy. Just go ahead and tear it up into pieces and dump it in on top of the eggs that are already in there. Alright, so now we got all the spinach in there. Go ahead and get the last little bits and pieces off your hands. Again, I like to rinse my hands off after this because I like to be clean. Not really something you have to do, but I do it anyway. Okay, so now we got everything in the pan. The next step from here, you want to take something to stir it up with. So whatever you have is fine. This is what I use. So go ahead and break up the yolks and start stirring everything together. By now you should see some of the eggs start to cook, and once that happens, like I said, if you have it on high heat, you don't have to sit here and stir forever. It usually goes pretty quickly. So go ahead and stir and kind of watch everything cook together, and you're going to want to stir it up until everything is pretty well cooked. This is usually the most time-consuming part. If you want to spend less time doing this, you can go ahead and heat your pan up early. But if you do that, just be careful because you kind of got to move a little faster if you do that. So there we go. Let's let it cook for a little bit. One thing too, I'm going to use soy sauce for tonight's meal because it's pretty good on eggs. I don't know if you ever tried it or not, but if you haven't, I recommend it. Something else that is delicious on eggs is this hot sauce. So everyone's got a preference. I like Frank's Red Hot. I also like this Cholula. It adds a really good flavor to your eggs, and definitely something nice if you have something a little spicier. But like I said, soy sauce and eggs, if you've never tried it, try it, it's great. You can also do this in the mornings. If you want to add carbs, you can go ahead and throw some rice in there. For rice, I like jasmine rice. Freshly steamed jasmine rice on top of eggs and spinach cooked together is pretty good as well. So You can go ahead and adjust this to fit your macros based on your height, weight, goals, all that stuff. While this is cooking also, it's starting to get there right now. But I'll show you real quick what we're looking at macros wise. So for macros, I got them right here. So we're looking at a total of 16.4 grams of fat, 4.6 grams of carbs, 46.3 grams of protein, which comes out to a total of 366 calories. So again, it's very much a bedtime meal. Doesn't have many carbs in it at all. So go ahead and feel free to have this, like I said, right before bed. People say, oh, you shouldn't eat before bed. That's definitely not true. Now, there are certain things you shouldn't eat before bed, and something like this is fine. So go ahead and feel free to have this as your last night meal or something comparable. Trust me, this will not make you fat. So, okay, now it's actually solidifying pretty well. Let's give it a few more minutes, and it should be good to go. So as you can notice, I'm stirring pretty evenly at this point. The reason you want to do this is if you do not, you can definitely get some of the egg overcooked and some of it not cooked all the way. So basically that would mean that by the time everything is cooked, you'd have bits of it very overcooked and other parts cooked just right. So I like to just stir it throughout just to keep everything somewhat uniform so it tastes better. Now, I've been dieting I started my prep 16 weeks out, technically, but I did start to diet quite a bit before then as well, and kind of had a little bit of break. I had a 4-week little mini off-season again to add a little bit more muscle, and then started prep 16 weeks out. So, again, I've been dieting for 16 weeks, 12 weeks now, being 4 weeks out, and everything's starting to taste really good. Now, that being said, I've had other people try this that have not been dieting and that typically enjoy better food than I eat, and they thought it was pretty good as well. So, like I said, try it for yourself. I personally think it's pretty great at this point. Definitely one of my favorite meals. Okay, so eggs are pretty much all the way done right now, so we can go ahead and cut off the heat. Always remember to do that, of course. Never good to leave a stovetop hot. There we go. Now, I like to use a big bowl for all the food that I eat. It's just easier that way. I don't really like plates. You can use whatever you want. Just have your bowl ready. And go ahead and dump in your freshly made 3 eggs, cup of egg whites, and roughly a cup of spinach. Okay, perfect. Now, I always take a spoon and scrape off whatever's left on here because I don't like to waste anything. And I'm also really enjoying food right now, so whatever I can get, I do get. Next, I just stir up my eggs a little bit inside the bowl. And now's the fun part. Like I said, you can add either soy sauce or hot sauce, whatever you prefer. But tonight, I'm doing soy sauce myself. So go ahead and dump it on here. Awesome. Now we got eggs, spinach, and soy sauce all together in the same bowl. And all you have to do is mix it up really good. Make sure soy sauce gets in there evenly. And there you have it. Delicious meal. So, pretty easy. Go ahead and try it. See if you like it. If you do, thank me. If not, don't make it again. but I think it's a pretty good option for most people out there, and I think you'll like it. So enjoy.